You are at a networking event. Across the room is someone you want to speak to, a potential client, maybe a future mentor. But instead of walking over, your heart rate spikes. Your mind races through worst-case scenarios, and before you take a single step, you are frozen. You might manage complex engineering teams or navigate intense corporate negotiations every day, yet faced with the simple task of saying hello to a stranger, your ability to form a coherent sentence evaporates. This diagram illustrates what is actually happening in your head. Your brain relies on a threat detection system called the amygdala. Its job is to scan for danger. The issue is that the amygdala cannot distinguish between a physical predator in the wild and the social pressure of approaching a stranger. It registers both as immediate threats. This misinterpretation triggers a physical cascade known as an amygdala hijack. Your body is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, which effectively mutes the logical part of your brain. In that moment, you lose the biological ability to think clearly. This freeze is not a character flaw. It is a biological response, a survival mechanism functioning exactly as it was programmed. To understand why your brain treats a simple hello like a life-threatening encounter, we have to look at how that program was written. The conditioning starts early. In the Indian education system, a quiet classroom is the standard of success. From age 5, students are taught that silence is respect. Those who debate teachers or speak out of turn are quickly corrected. The safest route is to stay invisible. That self-censorship is reinforced at home. Indian families offer deep warmth, but they also emphasize the collective over the individual. Phrases like "stay quiet when elders speak" and the constant consideration of "log kya kahenge," what will people say, teach you that your voice is a potential liability. Over years, this creates approval addiction. This flowchart shows the trap. Before taking any social action, the brain requires explicit external validation. Every impulse to speak gets caught at a checkpoint, waiting for a green light that never comes. You find yourself waiting for absolute certainty that the interaction will succeed before you move. Since that certainty is impossible, you stay paralyzed. It is a cruel irony. The exact system that produces such capable, intellectually curious men simultaneously trains them to hide that depth from the rest of the world. Breaking this loop requires reversing your logic. You don't wait to feel confident before you act. Confidence follows the action. Every time you walk up to a stranger and the interaction survives, your brain logs the experience. Through repetition, the amygdala learns to categorize social approaches as safe, physically rewiring your response to pressure. The first 30 seconds dictate the interaction. Before you even speak, an upright, unhurried posture signals calm. And while it might feel counterintuitive, maintaining steady, warm eye contact is the strongest indicator of genuine interest. You don't need a magic line. You need the CARE framework. Acknowledge a shared context, point out a specific detail, and ask a real, open-ended question. Then simply listen to the response. Most anxious men fail at this listening stage. They panic about silences and fall into the interview trap, firing off a nervous, rapid string of factual questions just to keep the other person talking. This illustrates the 3 levels of conversation. The interview trap keeps you stuck in the top layer, small talk about jobs or hometowns. It's a necessary entry point, but it rarely builds chemistry. To build momentum, you have to drop down into the second level. You do this by sharing a genuine opinion about the environment you're both in. Sharing what you think invites them to do the same. Opinions naturally reveal character. They create the friction needed to reach the third layer, values and vulnerabilities, which is where actual human connection is forged. A successful conversation is not a performance to win approval. It is an authentic exchange of experiences between 2 people. There is significant cultural baggage to unlearn here. Bollywood often glorifies the persistent, relentless pursuer, but that isn't confidence. A grounded man expresses interest once and respects a no with grace. A confident man views rejection as a simple mismatch of interest in that specific moment. Accepting that outcome without apology or frustration is the clearest signal of social maturity. Frameworks only work if you change how you see yourself. You must build the identity of someone who speaks to people. This requires a 30-day challenge of making small, non-transactional comments to strangers, A smile, a brief observation, with no expectation of a result. The same culture that emphasized silence also built deep relational warmth and emotional depth into your daily life. When you stop filtering your voice through the fear of judgment, that natural warmth becomes a significant asset for building connection. Social fluency is the natural state that emerges once you choose action over avoidance and let the conditioning fall away. The version of you that speaks freely isn't a new invention. He is what remains when you stop hiding.